On this week's TopRank Marketing Digital News Roundup, find out what is stifling innovation in B2B marketing, why the death knell might be sounding for retargeting, and we'll take a look at the latest report from Buffer's State of Social Media Marketing 2018. Welcome to the TopRank Marketing Digital Marketing News Roundup. I'm Joshua Knight, and with our first story, Joshua Knight. Thanks, Josh. A new survey from the Harvard Business Review, sponsored by Radius, shows that the number one thing that is stifling innovation in the B2B marketing space is the ability to leverage data across silos. So 55% said that being able to communicate quickly across the different departments is what is keeping them from being able to leverage data to actually influence business outcomes. So this is important because finding the key decision maker on your buying committee is going to be the thing that's going to set you apart from the competition. Over half of buying committees have a single champion who is the biggest influencer, and 97% of those already have a vendor in mind. So finding that particular person is going to be key to actually getting into that buying committee and being able to influence a decision. So get those silos down, tear the walls down, Mr. Gorbachev, and you'll find your B2B marketing is more effective. Back to you, Josh. Hey, so you know those ads that marketers love and maybe consumers don't love so much? Like if you were shopping for, say, a top hat for your cat, and you buy the top hat and your cat looks great in it, but when you're going on other social media sites, suddenly all you're seeing are ads for different types of hats for your cat. And you know, we like this as marketers, we like the extra impressions, but as a consumer, people find that annoying, unfortunately. And so there are steps being taken already to lessen the effectiveness of these retargeting initiatives. So in the new Firefox that just came out, Firefox Quantum, there is an option to disable tracking, which will make some of those ads not show up. But now Google is getting into the fight, and they have opted to expand their mute this ad functionality across devices. So that means if somebody opts out of your ad on their desktop and they're signed in to Google Chrome on their phone or their iPad or their Nintendo Switch or possibly their Blender, they're going to not see the ads that you put out there. And users can also go deep into the ad settings and mute specific ads. They can disable that tracking. So it remains to be seen how many users are actually going to use this functionality. So I wouldn't say that retargeting is done for now. I think it's still a tactic that marketers need to be aware of and be using. But we also need to make sure that it's part of a larger strategy. So if we're looking at email drips and other points of contact that we can do with paid social, for example, and of course, branded content. Content marketing is one of my favorite things because it's a thing that I do. But just having your strategy be completely rounded out and not relying on those retargeting ads is probably going to be the best way going forward. And now back to Joshua for our final story of the day. Thank you very much, Joshua. And for our final story, I want to dive a little bit into Buffer's State of Social Media 2018 report. Of course, Buffer knows social media like nobody's business. They're in charge of making sure most of us don't have to just sit there and update things in real time like we're some kind of cave people living in some kind of cave. So Buffer knows what they're talking about. They did a massive survey about the state of social media, and here are just a couple of things that they came up with. They found that only 20% of marketers are using messaging apps for marketing. So that's the top four are WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook Messenger, WeChat, and Viber, which I'm not familiar with Viber, but I understand that that's where all the hip kids are, the Gen Z kids, perhaps, the millennials, the baby boomers. The greatest generation is on Viber. It's a chat app for people who were alive during World War II. That's what it is. But what's happening is more people are using those four apps than are using the top four social media apps. So there are more people on those four apps than are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. So it's a huge opportunity only 20% of marketers are taking advantage of. The next thing is talking about the decline of organic reach. Marketers said that those who are investing in social media ads are more than 2 times as likely to say that their social media marketing is very effective. Not just somewhat effective, some of them said that, but very effective. But only 29% of everyone that they surveyed said that they were in that very effective place. So investing in social media ads is one way to get yourself up there. People are also looking at different ways to measure ROI. They said engagement was the top priority people said for measuring ROI. So 42% said they were measuring engagement as part of ROI. I feel like if you're measuring engagement and calling it measuring ROI, you need to be able to ascribe a dollar amount to that engagement. So, make sure you're coming correct with that. But that was far and away the number one way. This in second place, 17% that said they were measuring leads, which is more revenue-based, a good idea. Only 15% said they were measuring the impact of their social media marketing by measuring sales. And I think that's a number that we have to get to if we're going to justify what we're doing by showing dollars on the bottom line. As far as platforms go, Facebook is still the leading platform, far and away, followed by Twitter and LinkedIn after that. What I found interesting is Snapchat is at the very bottom, under Pinterest, because apparently the people who use Pinterest, for whatever Pinterest is for, more of them are using it than are using Snapchat. So 11% only with Snapchat. Snapchat should come up with a way to give you a link to some content that you have to click like 4 times through, like a visual board, and then like a feature page, and then another click to get to the actual content. So if they would just take maybe a page out of Pinterest's game, then maybe more people would be using Snapchat. At the same time, LinkedIn really should have Snapchat filters, because I would take somebody more seriously as a candidate for hire if they had dog's ears, to be honest. So if you're looking to apply at TopRank Marketing, keep that in mind. Last thing on that survey, the top priority, they said among marketers, 85% say video is their top priority. They want to create more video. They want to make their video prettier. You might have noticed that the camera is moving and the background is better, and I am prettier this week. That's because we're upgrading our video game too. So we, along with everybody else, is making video a top priority, and you probably should too. And that's our TopRank Marketing Digital Marketing News Roundup for February 2nd, 2018. I've been Joshua Knight. You can find me on Twitter at KnightWrites. That's NITEWRITES. And you can learn more about all of the stories that we discussed in this video and more if you check out the article. If you're reading this embedded on the blog, it's going to be down there. If you're watching it anywhere else, check out the link to the TopRank blog in our bio. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at TopRank. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.